Just started recording for YouTube. They've missed out on my analysis for UJ, but I was really just saying how I've marked up my levels here and it's in between. So now in Forex, heading into the week, these really are just the two levels I'm looking for. But this pair, I'm not really looking to get into it because it's kind of like in this downtrend here, but it's getting close to this extreme low. And we can see here that it hasn't really created a lower low here. And so possibly this is a sign that it's losing its downtrend momentum. So taking a look here, I actually did close this pair in profit. Closed it right there. And I closed this position too. So even though it went negative, I did end up closing it. We can see here I did use a bit of divergence here to get me a bit of money on that pair. And it worked pretty well. I made about 360 bucks on this in real money, and then on my 100k I made about 0.5%, so I made about 500. So in a day made around 900 bucks or so. So that wasn't too bad, right? Around 800 bucks. So just taking a look here, we can see that I actually did create another low, so I'm just going to mark that up there as a level of support. Now I'm going to zoom out. We can see that it has been in this really just downtrend for yonks. So what I'm going to do is delete that. I'm going to actually take a look at what this pair looks like on the 4 hour. You can see that it has hit this low. God damn. I like to see what it looks like in a week. So it hasn't really been trading at these levels in ages. Like the last time it did was 2014. But this is really just because like there's all that uncertainty and stuff happening with the US dollar, with the election and like all of that sort of stuff. So because of that, I think the time right now is the thing to do is to just be patient. There's no point in really just like trading and trading and trading. Holy, imagine being on this. In 2015, look at how many pips that is. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? So it's not really at a level that I would like to trade at, or that I would feel confident trading at. But if we do start seeing kind of some uptrend structure develop, then hopefully we can start entering in. But because it's kind of like at a new level, I don't really want to enter in at a point where I think it could either go both up or down. I'd rather just wait to see it develop that new trend. So let's take a look at this. It's really just similar on this pair too. We can see that it ended up dropping below. Now it's retesting here in this downtrend, and maybe if we whipped out a fib from this high to this low, kind of see if entered in between this 0.5 to 0.6 and here on this key level, we can see it's support, and then resistance here. You just target something down near this one, so I target this market structure here. Move stop loss up to 0.78. Bang, there we go, 1.7 risk reward. Here it's already started to drop a bit. It is only 7 pips in profit, but as it does continue, we could just kind of damn, losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, we could just like move the stop loss up to break even, and then that would be essentially trading with 0 risk except for what's already on the table. But once it does kind of hit that 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, then that just means that you can close half the position and then start trailing your stop losses up, so that even if you do lose, you still gain a bit of profit, right? Because Forex isn't actually about trying to get the biggest trades and all that. It's about just consistently securing profits and using good risk to reward management. That's literally all it is. Like, you could win a trade with 10 risk to reward and have a win rate of 2%, and like no one's gonna care because you're still gonna be negative. But you could have like
a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 2, and you only win like 50% or less, like 30%, and you'd still be in profit.
If you guys want to see my win rate, actually, I'll make a video on my win rate and basically my trading strategy and that sort of stuff. So that will be pretty cool, I think, to make. Also, I'm getting a vlogging camera soon. I only need to make a few more profits. I need to make around $60 profit on my $2,000 account. Then I'll get that out and I'll get the video camera. And then I can start doing some vlogs, so that'll be cool. I see I've got a viewer, so if you reckon that's going to be dope, just let me know, bro. Alright, so back to the actual content. Taking a look here, it did end up trading above this extreme high, so just going to move the extreme high there. Trying to identify any key levels. There's kind of a key level right here. So I'm going to mark that down. And in terms of anything else that I like here, I don't really like anything else here. So I'm going to zoom out. We can still see that it's just been in this steady uptrend here. But, well, it did actually end up creating a higher high. Except here it created here a lower high here. And a lower low down here as well. So that could be a sign. Oh, hey mates! Yeah, so this could be a sign that it's actually losing its uptrend momentum, because that's just showing us that it could potentially just start ranging in here sideways and then heading towards the downside. And like if I go onto the 4-hour chart here, and oh my, maybe I have to go to the 1 day chart. Alright, so the point I'm trying to get across here is that if we go back to the last time it traded at this level up here was 2018, and so that's like yonks ago, like Jesus Christ, that's ages ago. And so because we're kind of trading at, once again, a level we haven't traded at in a while, especially with like how the economy is going all over the world, we're just going to have to kind of be patient and just continue seeing how the pairs go throughout the week, seeing if they're continuing the uptrend momentum, or if they're starting to reverse and start heading down within this range. But once again, like, you don't actually need to predict where it's going to go. All you have to do is just like mark up some key levels and then just see how it's going to react to those levels. Like here we can see that I marked up this level. We can see if you entered in on this level, then it's going to start heading towards the upside, possibly, right? You're just playing your chances. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but I'd rather lose like $2,000 and win $5,000 than like not trade at all. And like you can just like play your chances and like create your own chances too. Like, I don't know, you just have to use your brain sometimes. It's really not that hard. But the pairs, the levels here that I've marked up haven't really changed too much. But you can see obviously the levels I'm looking at, areas of interest here. So we're just going to head on over to the next pair. So here we can see another New Zealand pair, and it is trading above this line, which means that it's created a just like a new extreme high. We can also see that a double top has formed here. So a double top is like pretty obvious what it is. There's one top, here's another top, and generally during a double top it just means that it starts falling after. So we can see that if we just zoom in, we can see that there's one top here and the other top here, and now it's starting to head back down. In terms of support level, I can kind of see like a pretty nice support level here. So what I want to do is just mark that as an area of support or market structure that I'd be interested in seeing what happens. So I'm just going to drag this across. There we go. I do believe that this level here is, I think that it's going to stay relevant because simply like market hasn't come down here yet, but looking at previous market structure, you can see that it's resistance here and support here. So maybe when this comes back down, then there'll be something happening at this level, something like this. But really, like, my analysis is really similar for this pair, as it is like for the New Zealand USD pair, because like it's trading once again at a level that's pretty high, and that we haven't seen in ages. And so like if I just keeps going down, the last time it was up here, and where it is right now, we can see the line right there was you can't actually see it. Maybe we go to the daily. Oops. Last time was 30th of April-ish, like 26th of April 2019. So it's kind of like in a new territory. But I have been working on this new kind of well, I haven't really been working, but I've been testing out this trading strategy, this one right here. So if I zoom out, this thing here is called like just like a descending flag. So all it is like it just hits it like this line. So you make like a trend line with these things, with these tops. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, and then when it starts to range, it'll drop right here back to this area, and then after it drops, then you're gonna want to enter in here, and you can just take it all the way to the upside. Like, look at this. If you had entered in here, you could have taken this all the way to the upside. So that was kind of why I marked this up here and left it in, because I do think that this is something that I want to start trading more of, just so I can really make more profits. Like if I could enter in there, set my stop loss around here, and then really just target something like this. Look at that, that's 8 risk to reward ratio, and would have taken me ages, and I probably would have closed my position earlier. I probably would have closed it at around here or so, or even up here. But at the end of the day, that's still like 2 risk to reward ratio, and if it's making me money, I'm a happy man. And if I risk 3% of this, then that means I'd be getting around 6.48, like $648, $6,480 off of this one trade alone, which is like what some people make in 2 months, and I could make that in 1 day, sitting on my ass, bloody gaming all day. So that's just something I've been working on. But in terms of these levels here, once again, I'm just going to move this up. It hasn't really, it's like trading at a new level, so I'm not really too inclined to enter in here unless I do see something that's pretty convincing. But I could mark up this area here, but it doesn't really act as a support anywhere, mostly just like a resistance. So you can see resistance there. It doesn't really come down and test it as a support, but then it continues here, resistance, 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 resistance. It comes as a bit of support here, but it's not really significant enough for me to actually note it down. So with that said, heading over onto GBP USD. Now here, I'm just going to make the charts a bit smaller. We can see that there was this long steady uptrend. Now it's looking like it's developing a downtrend here. So if we were to just like look into it here, for example, then we could just see that a break of this structure here could be nice. But also, if I just change up my level slightly, so I'm going to move that down there, and then what I'm going to do is mark this area here as a key level, because let me just move this a bit, because I can see now that here it's a bit of support, and then here it's a bit of a resistance. So that there's just a simple break and retest. Maybe if we look at the fib from this high to this low, the 0.5 is there, so we'll just bring it out here. Bang, we can see if you enter in between this 0.5 to 0.6 on the key level right here during the downtrend, we can see right now, and you see stop loss here at about 0.78. Target these lows down here. We can see that right now I would be in about 15 pips profit, but maybe if you close the position at around here, then even though that's not that good of a profit, you could have closed half the position here and then move your stop loss to break even. Now you're trading risk free and you've already closed in 1.5% if you're risking like 3%, for example, on that trade. So this here is actually a good setup. I did miss it, I'll admit it. I didn't actually enter in on this pair. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Also, this setup here kind of came in yesterday, around the 12th, and so generally towards the end of the week, I don't really look to enter in on positions around like the end of Thursday or Friday at all. The only positions that I kind of maintain or stay in are the ones that I've already entered in during the week. Now, if my trade is in profit on like Friday, before the market closes, I'll actually go in and take a look at the position, kind of just see if I want to stay in it or if I don't want to stay in it. But it is risky because you don't really know what's going to happen over the weekend. And so, yeah, like you just choose your chances once again, and that's just like how I trade. So when it comes to Thursday, Friday, I really just take a step back, just game a bit, but like I don't really like look for new positions to enter in on. Alright, so taking a look here, we can see that it is dropping. If I just move this across, we can see that there's a bit of movement happening here. Where's my indicators? Can I get my RSI in here, please? Oh, and delete. Alright, cool, I got them back. So we can see here that it did hit this oversold region. So hopefully it's going to come back and kind of retest this area. So if it does, whip out the fib from this high to this low. You can see that this 0.5 level isn't really on this key level. So if I take a look at my trading plan on my wall, did you hear that paper? It says there, rule 1, trade with the trend. So currently the trend is going up, but if we take a look at obviously this here, it's going down. And I don't really like to trade contradicting trends, so that's already a sign there that I wouldn't really want to enter in on. But it also says, ensure, the second rule, ensure fib has ensure fib 0.5 to 0.61 level has a key level in between. If we take a look here, shit, ain't no key level in between this 0.5 to 0.6. Bang, this trade is not for me. And then obviously my third rule on the trading plan says, move stop loss to break even after it hits 1%. Close half at 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. God damn, I'm getting a call. I'm gonna have to cancel that call real quick. But then yeah. So taking a look here at this pair, we can see that if I hadn't actually entered in, so we'll use my genuine trading plan, right? We can see that if I had entered in between this 0.5 to 0.6 on the key level, it would have been, oops, on a sell because it's here, it's a downtrend. So I would have entered in here, set my stop loss at 0.7, and then obviously take profit down here. Guys, look, this is just like what would happen here. So we can see that trade with trend. Trend is going down. Then we can see ensure fib has 0.5 to 0.61 level, has a key level in between it. So we can see here this key level does actually go in between this 0.6 and 0.5 area, so that's where we would be looking to enter in on. Then obviously, if we had entered in here, then we can see that once it came down to here, probably you could have closed it because it's only a few pips away. But if you did move your stop loss to break even, you would have lost it. But then, if you just left your stop loss where it is and you didn't really care if you lost this money, or you did already close like maybe 2%, you just had 1% running, so you just stayed in the trade, then you can see that you would have just closing out this trade here. But I do think that the better move would have just been to close it around there for around 100 pips profit and just leave the other 18 pips. So this is why I'm normally like pretty safe on my take profit, and I don't really just try and stretch it out all the way down to here, but I do keep it kind of close and conservative to just to like the previous market structure. So we'll get rid of that. So here we can see that there was a break of this key level here. Now it's come back retesting. Looking like there's going to be a bit of rejection there. So sell possibly down to around here or even just here. It'll be a nice quick little trade that people could enter in on. But for me personally, I actually got an email from Pepperstone saying be wary about GBP because there is some news going on, and the volatility of it is going to be unpredictable. And so when big news does come out like that, and even the brokers are telling you to be careful with your money, it's generally just a sign to just sit out, not trade those pairs for those days or so for the next few days. So that's probably what I'm going to do with most of my GBP pairs, unless I see a good as opportunity. So we'll head over here to GBP CAD. Bang! I know you already see this trade's in profit, so what's going on? That's what I thought. Champ, get on my damn level, bro. Anyway, we can see here this is about a 2.5 risk reward ratio. This was in my, oh no, this wasn't in my trading recap, but there was actually kind of a mistake here because I can see that now it's kind of forming this downtrend here. And we can obviously see that there's this little break and retest right on this key level here. And by this key level, I mean this one here. And even if we were to use a fib from this high to this low, we can see that an entry within this 0.5 to 0.6 up here, and your stop loss of 0.7 would have been good. And then you can just target these lows and hopefully it continues dropping down there. But because that trade is kind of too small for me, in terms of like pips and that sort of stuff, I wouldn't really enter in on it. Yeah, but this trade here did go well for me, except I did actually end up closing the position early. And if you want to see why, check out my YouTube weekly recap that's coming out hopefully soon, hopefully today, if I can get that video edited and out there. But yeah, hopefully that shit works. Alright, so taking a look here, I can already just see that it's ranging here, so I'm going to mark the area of resistance here too. So there I can see it's kind of resistance there. It is actually starting to drop a bit below, so here and here it is starting to drop below this area of support, so that could be a sign there that it's heading towards the downside. Also, it's pretty close to this extreme high, so that could be another sign that it's ready to start heading towards the downside. So because of that, I'm going to look for just a clear, like an absolute clear break and retest of this structure. So just something like this where it drops heaps, comes back, rejects, and then continues heading down. Like that's it. That's all I want to see for me to enter in on a sell on this pair. And if it happens during the week, then it happens and we can make some money. Woo! Give me some of that money. But like, yeah, really, like this pair here, look at it, it's close to this extreme high here on this area. It's looking like it's ranging, so it's unable to test it. So maybe like it's gonna start heading towards the downside. Like that's really, it's just that simple, bro. Damn, bro. Alright, taking a look here, we can see that there is a clear break and retest occurring from here. So maybe we'll whip out fib. I don't really think that it's going to be on the 0.5 level. So we can see 0.5 levels down here. So this here isn't really a sign for me to enter in on. But if there is kind of some clear rejection here, then that could be a sign to enter in on. But for me personally, I wouldn't really, because if I know my trading plan works, why would I just enter in on a trade that I don't know if it's going to work? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. What's the fib? So the fib thing, so in Forex, right, for example, let me go into Paint. Alright, we're going to see some artistry. So normally in Forex, when there's a trend, it goes like this. So this is like what it looks like on a downtrend. Yeah, so we're just going to use a downtrend for example. So normally there's like a key level here, key level here, key level here, key level here, right? So because you want to trade with the trend, so this trend here is going down, you want to look in for a sell. Now, when you're looking for a sell, you obviously want to enter in basically on, as it breaks this, retest and shows ejection here, this is where you want to sell. So we'll just put sell with the red. So you'd want to sell here, you'd want to sell here, you'd want to sell here, and you'd want to start selling here. And then for green, you can take your profits here. So this is generally where you want to take your profits because that's what the market structure is telling you. So you'd want to sell here, take profit, sell here, take profit, sell here, take profit. Now, generally, when the market goes from this, so we use blue. When the market goes from this high to this low, generally the point at which it starts to come back to this area and you'd want to enter in and it start dropping, like, whoops, how do I undo that? Oh yeah. Once it comes towards here, it's like when you're trying to, this here is the point of entry that you're looking for. And generally this point of entry is equal to around 0.5 to 0.6 on the fib. So that's really just what the fib is. It just means that it's just like a sign of correction. So there's like an impulse and then a correction, and you want to kind of enter in there. So I'll show you what I mean. Whoops, let me get rid of this fib. All right, let's just get up maybe GBP CAD. What about a pair that has the fib chart on it? One that's actually good. All right, here. So if I zoom in here, we can see that right now it's in this downtrend, yeah, and it's broken this level here. Right here, we can see there's a support level here, and then so from this high down to this low, we're trying to find now an entry to target this low, right? So we'll bring on paint thing. So we can see that, let's do it in yellow. So this movement from up here down to here, that would be equivalent of this movement right here, right? If that makes sense. And then you'd want to enter in at this red like dot thing there. So that red dot is generally equivalent, so E is equivalent to 0.5 to 0.61. So here we can see that the 0.5 to 0.61 area, you just enter in on that within the key level. Whoops. You just target these lows and you can see right now you're being profit. Does that make sense? Like, it's really just like that simple. But obviously you need to gain experience in the market and that sort of stuff. But that's literally just like all you do is you just follow the trend. So here is a trend, right? Then you want to look for the impulse, and then you want to enter in on this red dot, and this red dot is equal to 0.5 to 0.61, and then you can enter in on a sell and continue trading with this trend and close your profits here where the previous market structure is. Like, yeah, that's really my entire trading strategy in 4 seconds. And if you want to see more of that one, hey mates, just check out the YouTube, and I've got a video to my whole trading strategy. So we're actually onto Euro GBP here. Oh no, we did this, but we did actually see that there was increased volatility on GBP pairs. And I know that what I just said before is I'm kind of staying away from it, but if the news on GBP is so bad, like if I'm seeing that these GBP pairs are just like shooting up, I mean if these GBP pairs like here are shooting down, then this Euro GBP pair is going to shoot up. And because it's on this key level right here, then that just means that this pair, if the GBP is going down, then the Euro is going to go up against it. And so I could really just enter in on a buy here and just take all the profits from this if the news is on my side. But it is risky, so I probably won't be actually trading it. But I could. You never know. You can't predict the damn market. So here I can see with this line here that it is kind of in this downtrend. But really, if you look at the length that I trade, generally it's just been ranging in here sideways. So I can see as well that it has dropped down to this point here. So using my brain, what I'm going to do is mark this area as a level of support. So I'm just going to bring this rectangle all the way. Oh, didn't mean to add an alert. So what I'm going to do here is just wait to see if it can come back down and enter in on a buy and take it towards the upside. Like really, that's just it. But yeah, that's just it. So I'm also just curious to see where it was trading pre-COVID. So pre-COVID it was actually trading down way below here. So this is obviously COVID highs. And then obviously this here is pre-COVID. So we can kind of just expect this pair to continue heading towards the downside. Possibly a break of this structure and then a retest could be nice, but I'm just going to have to wait and see how that goes. But I've got my levels marked and these are the levels that I'm interested in, and really it's just that simple. I'm all over the YouTube. Damn right, adding to my insane viewership of two viewers per video. Let's get it up real quick. Oh, 4 views. Oh, 10 views. PogChamp. 66 subs. That's kind of pog. Let's get up some views. 27 views on this one. 7 views. 14. I don't know why I got so many on that one. God damn. Maybe if we go to monetization. Look, I need 1,000 subs. And then I need 4,000 hours watched. So hopefully the vlogs actually increase that number. And then I can start getting monetized on YouTube and investing in real estate and getting the 100k FTMO and having some clients or something, I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, continuing on to what we're actually doing here. I can kind of see that it's just broken this area here. So I just put my YouTube on autoplay. Thanks, bro. You'll have 4K hours in half a year. Yeah, thanks, bro. So, taking a look here, I can just see that it's broken this area. So I could possibly be looking in for a sell here, but the reason why I'm not right now is because I can see that it's pretty close to this low. And taking a look previously, we can see that anytime it's kind of hit this, it has done a huge jump back towards the upside. So with that, I'm kind of just suspect on it continuing to head down. And I also think that the Australian dollar is going to drop in this week or in the next week or so, because right now we're trading, well, the Australian dollar is buying 75 US cents, which is nuts, because if we take a look at even like the 1 week charts, the last time this happened, last time it was up here, we even traded 76 cents for a bit. So the last time that happened was the 11th of June 2018, which is like ages ago. Like, we've never really been this good, if that makes sense. Like, we're kind of buying a lot of I want to see if we actually ever bought $1. Damn, we actually used to have a better economy than them. Look at this. We used to buy $1.10. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so I'm kind of just expecting this pair to drop, because I just don't think that it's going to continue being at these levels. And like, really, that's just what I think. So because of that, because I'm thinking that this pair is going to drop, really not because of any sign, simply just experience of being in Australia and like always comparing the Australian dollar to the US dollar, I do think that this pair here could possibly just start continuing, or just start heading towards, just start heading towards the upside, based off the fact that the Australian dollar is going to start dropping. Now, let's take a look at some stocks that I actually invest in. So obviously right now isn't that good of a time to invest in Apple because it's above this resistance and this support. So maybe you'd want to wait for it till it drops around to here maybe. Let's take a look at my Microsoft. Microsoft's probably a decent buy right now. You can see it's breaking it. It's retested this area of support, previous area of support. So that there could just be a sign that now is a nice time to enter in on that pair. AMD, I was actually looking to enter in here, but I just didn't put any money in my stake account. But I really regret it because if I take a look at it, I would have made, like, if I bought 5 shares and it's gone up $20, I would have made at least $100. So that's kind of unfortunate. And obviously Tesla, I bought 1 pair here and like a pair up here as well, just because I do think that this company is great. So you can see right now it's obviously in profit. I'm probably going to come back down and then shoot back up because I'm expecting Tesla to be worth, like, I don't know, the same as Amazon in terms of the EV industry. Spit bars, rabbing accidentally. But with that said, if you guys have any questions, well, this is going to be it for the YouTube people. If you have any questions on YouTube, just chuck a message in the comment section or whatever. I'll get to it eventually. And for those of you on Twitch, I'll stick around for like 2 minutes, so until 2:48, and then I'm a dip, bro. So see ya.